Hi, I'm Kathy Plomin, and I'm a council member for the 12th District for the city. And we're here today with Ame Sweetall, who is Executive Director of LexArts. And in addition,
hi, I'm Hannah LeGris. I'm the 3rd District Council member with City Council, and I'm glad to be here today in the 3rd District. Hi, Amy.
Hello, I'm so glad you are here. Welcome.
Oh, Amy, both of us are just big fans of LexArts, and so we're really privileged and happy to be here to talk more about the organization. I know that this is the 50th anniversary for LexArts in our community, and that's really a cool thing. So, Amy, why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, LexArts is really just so excited and honored to be a part of what Lexington is and does in the arts sector here in Lexington. For 50 years, in 1972, we had a Lexington Arts and Culture Council, and then as well as a Fund for the Arts. Along the way, over the last 50 years, those two organizations melded, came together, and we created LexArts. What we really try to do is work with the city, work with our community on how to really grow and develop the arts. We work with our arts organizations. We work with the artists in our community on how we can find all the greatest opportunities to share art and all of its iterations with our community and the residents. Big push now on accessibility, trying to get people that really are underserved in the arts able to have more access and ability to enjoy the arts. Yeah, we're excited. This is our 50th anniversary year, 2022, 50th anniversary year. We've got big celebration planned and a whole lot of other things that hopefully you've seen around the city as well.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I mean, 50 years, that's a great history to have. Well, let me ask you this, because I know that you're working on kind of the future role of LexArts. What is your vision? What do you see happening?
Well, LexArts has really kind of been primarily two things. We are the official local arts agency, which means that we have all those connections with the arts organizations and the artists and all of the things that are happening in the arts, and we help to promote and support the arts sector in our city. Also, what we are is what's called a United Arts Fund, and that's when we raise money for our Fund for the Arts. That's the money that we're able to raise and then turn right back around and put it back into the arts organizations, artists, and arts activations all through the city. So really, for as we move forward, it's real important to us that we become a full city entity where we're able to promote and get money back out to our arts organizations, but also promote what all of our arts organizations are doing. The City of Lexington, the council, has recently approved a $300,000 allocation for us to develop an arts and culture master plan. And so the idea of that is that we really work into policy, into city policy, as well as community policy on how we get the arts infused into everything that we do. The economic impact of the arts is really great. We forget that the shows that we go to and the galleries that we attend and the concerts we go see, all of those things really contribute to not just our tourism, but also our economic revenue in our city. And so we want to make sure that we are kind of at the forefront in managing that process smart and invest properly in the arts where we should, where we can really see a great impact right here in our city.
Great. Well, Amy, you talked about people coming out and about all throughout the city and appreciating the arts. And for your 50th anniversary, you have a special initiative, Horse Mania.
Yeah.
We see people all over the city, and especially in the 3rd District, checking out the horses, choosing their favorites. Tell us a little bit more about Horse Mania.
Horse Mania is truly just one of those iconic, traditional Lexington masterpieces, right? This is the 3rd iteration. We did Horse Mania in 2000, we did it in 2010, and now in 2020, of course, it was our intention as a 10-year project to do it, but with the pandemic, we decided to push to our 50th anniversary year and do it in 2022. So hopefully, everyone has seen all of the beautiful horses spread all over Lexington. This year we have 164 horses on the streets, which is kind of amazing to think.
That's a lot of work.
Those are really sort of two different programs. We have the Horse Mania program, where so many businesses came out to help us sponsor. That is primarily underwritten by Keeneland and Maker's Mark. And then we have our sponsors, the Corridors Commission from the city, Kentucky Thoroughbred Association, and Visit Lex, all came in a really big way to help us get all of these over 70 horses sponsored and out on the streets and painted by our professional artists, our really wonderful local artists, to show off their work here in Lexington. Then, of course, we have horseplay. So there's another 90 plus horses, over 90 horses that our Fayette County school children helped to create. So high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, and then some arts kind of adjacent programs made over 90 horses as part of the horseplay program that have been out on the streets. And we're working real hard right now with the Fun for the Foals. The horseplay happened because the Kloiber Foundation was able to come in and make that happen right off the bat. So we were really very fortunate. We didn't have to ask the schools to put a penny in to help make this happen. And so we're trying to go along with that program. We're asking people to give to the Fun for the Foals so that we can get all those horses right back to their schools and living here forever.
So the foals are out in the community, and then the goal is to have them back at the schools. Yes. And then with the auction, you know, of the big horses, where does the money go, or what happens? What happens
We've got
next?
a couple of really interesting programs. So this Fun for the Foals, we're helping to raise money that then will go back to the schools for arts engagement and arts education. So Fayette County Schools, of course, has been hit so hard with, well, all schools have been hit so hard with the pandemic. So we want to make sure that we can help provide that arts funding that is probably pretty hard to access right now, right? Because there's so many needs in the schools right now. So we want to help the kids be able to have that access back to the arts, go out and see plays, and have the assemblies in the schools and classroom arts education and those sorts of things. So we will be putting some of the funds from the auction and from the proceeds back into the schools. But then, of course, the majority of the funds that come off of the auction and from Horse Mania in general will come right back to LexArts so that we can turn around and fund more programs and more arts activities and engagements back out in the community.
You know, it's really important to have the arts in the schools because over the years, the arts have been cut. I mean, you really don't have the classes like we used to have. We actually had a designated class for arts, so that's great. You know, I was going to mention that, you know, this is a big year. It's the 50th year. We're having the Horse Mania. Yeah. But the Fund for the Arts, actually, you referenced that, was created about 30, 40 years ago. The funny thing is I've been around the arts, being on and off the board for years, and the fund is really important because what it does is it helps our art groups. Can you speak a little bit more about like how many arts groups and are the major ones that you always fund, and then how other artists apply for funding?
Yeah, it's a very specific and transparent process. So every year we do a Fund for the Arts. So this is the money that's going right back into our funds to be distributed, allocated through grants process. Every year we have arts organizations that apply. We have what's called our GOS, General Operating Support Partners, and then we have our CAD, Community Arts Development Partners. And so your well-established, more known arts organizations that are really sort of our trusted pillars of the arts community. We're talking about Lexington Philharmonic, Central Kentucky Youth Orchestra, the Children's Theater, Lexington Children's Theater, Carnegie Center for Literacy and Learning. Those organizations and more are getting sort of that general operating support out of that Fund for the Arts. And then we have community arts development grants, and those can be organizations, they can be projects, or they can actually be individuals. So an organization can come back to us and say, you know, can you help us with this particular need in our organization, an arts organization? So that might be hiring a new teacher or putting on a performance or any of those sorts of things that we can help them do that. Then we also have projects. So anybody in the community can come to us and say, I have an idea. I'd like to I'd like to do this project. And so a group or an individual can come and propose an idea for an arts activity, and then we'll fund that through the Fund for the Arts as well. So every year, somewhere in the neighborhood between 30 to over 50, and during the pandemic, of course, the numbers dropped because we just didn't have as much arts engagement happening. But we're getting back up now, close to 40 agencies every year that are being funded, agencies or groups being funded. We hope to even double that. We're in a strategic plan now. We've got big plans for even more and more and more groups and individuals getting funded. I did want to mention also too that we've incorporated a whole new grant cycle, which we're calling our Arts Equity Grants. We are trying to target diverse initiatives that are providing access and inclusion, where maybe we've missed some of those in the past. We haven't been able to fund some of those projects, so we have a whole bucket of funding specifically for diversity initiatives and inclusion initiatives. So we really want people to apply. We're making that a very streamlined process. It is not hard. If you come to us with a good idea to get more people engaged in the arts that haven't really had that access in the past, we want to help fund that. So we're asking people to come to us and help get that word out as well.
You know, I meant to say this at the beginning. Usually it's just one council member doing a video. There's two of us today, so we're kind of going back and forth and playing with it. But,
everybody wants to be here.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So if you want to jump in, go right ahead.
Sure. So Amy, you all have been really busy.
Oh yeah.
You have a lot going on. You have a big 50th anniversary year this year. But I would love to talk about what's going on in this building. We're here in your all's building, but you all may be able to hear some banging around. There's some people practicing and performing up above our heads. So tell us about the organizations here. What's going on in this building?
Yeah, thank you for saying that. We are so proud of this building. You might have seen in the news this year that LexArts actually purchased Arts Place, 161 North Mill, right here downtown. It is a beautiful, wonderful hub of arts activity right here. And I know a lot of people in Lexington probably don't realize that. They don't know that there is activity happening all the time. Look around where we're standing right now is a really one of this area's premier art galleries, where we're able to show local art and artists from this area, a beautiful exhibit that changes out about every 2 months. 6 per year. So we encourage people to come down. This is free of charge. It's open every day except Sunday. We encourage everyone to come down to really experience this beautiful local art in this space. What we also have is a real kind of working arts center. I can hear the thump, thump, thump.
Oh, yeah, right on cue.
As I speak. Above us is a professional ballet studio where we have Lexington Ballet that rents that space, and they're able to have their performing classes and workshops and rehearsals for all of their wonderful shows here. We've got several business offices for the Philharmonic and Central Kentucky Youth Orchestra and Chamber Chorale and different folks that are able to use this building as their working hub, their administrative hub. We have groups like Innovation Arts Academy, so we've got teenagers and young kids coming in and out every day for classes and workshops and rehearsals, doing all of their wonderful programming. In this space, we're standing in our gallery. Right behind us is kind of a secondary gallery we call our performance hall, or our great room, where people can come and rent for events. We have a lot of weddings and corporate events here, but it's also a great rehearsal space. So we've got kids that come and do all of their rehearsals and their performances in this space, as well as every Wednesday night we have Red Barn Radio. This is a.
I've been to that before. A lot of people don't know about it. It is so
well, you
cool.
just don't realize it's coming right out of Lexington, Kentucky. It is a around the world broadcast every Wednesday of these not necessarily up and coming, but sometimes they've already come. You know what I mean? These are some big names that come, and they basically do their kind of their demo set here. They'll play, and then they'll interview, and so that's a really great piece for people to take out on the road for them to get more activity on what they do. But really interesting. Every Wednesday we watch the numbers, and there are thousands and thousands of people watching right here in Lexington. And if you watch the broadcast, I mean, if you walked out there now, you would have no idea that it was in this space. I mean, this looks like a professional, studio, which is really nice.
Well, I was going to ask you about another activity that you're known for, and it's been around a long time, Gallery Hop.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I would think a lot of people that are watching this would have already experienced it, but why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about that?
We are so lucky. This gallery that we're standing in is our LexArts gallery, sponsored by Independence Bank. Then every other month we have the Gallery Hop, which is not just this gallery, but 33 other locations around the city, mostly downtown. There's a little bit spread out outside of downtown, but locations that have a new exhibit every 2 months for people to hop the sites and see all of this great local art that is, again, free, accessible, easy. A lot of times these places have, a bar or food set up. It's a really fun night to get around, see folks that you haven't seen for a long time, or to check out some really beautiful art in different locations. But that's our Gallery Hop. It's sponsored by Republic Bank. Now, they have been a great partner of ours for a long, long time, and we have really kind of stepped up the bar. All of our locations are really coming up with some amazing exhibits to show during a Gallery Hop. That's super fun. A lot of really, really, really fun things happening on that front. I'm trying to think of all the other things we have going on.
Anna and I were at the council meeting, and there was a presentation made about the concept of districts, art districts. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we are really fortunate because we have so many wonderful people that care in this community. And so there is a group of arts supporters and people that care about the economic impact of arts on our city and all of the good things that art can bring to a city that are coming together to start the process to create an arts and culture master plan. City of Lexington, the council, thank you, has agreed to help fund that process where we do an arts and culture master plan. And again, business leaders, arts leaders, thought leaders from all over are joining in this group to really decide what is this arts and culture master plan. So one of the ideas that has been thrown out there is this whole arts, culture, and entertainment districting, where we already have those components right here in Lexington with the Distillery District and Entertainment District and all the different areas that we have. So we want to formalize that a little bit and try to really kind of market to tourism and our residents what these areas have to offer in Lexington and how we can really play that up.
Well, sounds like that has a lot of potential.
Very exciting.
Kathy, I don't know if you have any questions. I feel like we've covered a lot of territory here together. I'm sure there's always more to talk about because you all are evolving, you have great ideas going, bringing a lot of people into the conversation. We really appreciate everything that you're doing for your 50th anniversary and in general in our community.
Yep, and I cannot wait till these horses get auctioned off in December.
Are you
December
gonna get one,
2nd.
No, but we are going. And I would say, I think that event's going to probably sell out.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
think
so.
it will.
Out at Keeneland on December 2nd. And if you're listening to this and you want to make sure you get that invitation, just call us, let us know. We'll put you on the list. And we hope that everyone in the community can come out and have fun at that event.
Well, I know Councilmember LeGris and myself are very enthusiastic about the arts, and we know how much you all give back to the community. And it's just part of our fabric, and we want to keep increasing that. And we're so appreciative that you're here. So thank you.
And thank you for everything you do as well. We couldn't do this without the city and the cooperation, and this is a big part of how it all works. So thank you so very much.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks.